All right, let's get into this today. We've got a dark and twisted story out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin from the summer of 2013. It's one that starts with a smell, something as innocuous as rotten meat, and ends with a gruesome discovery no one could have predicted.
Yeah, it's unsettling to think about. A smell that just keeps getting worse and worse, but everyone assumes it's the heat or garbage issues, right? But then the flies show up, and that's when things take a really eerie turn.
Definitely. I mean, when the flies start gathering outside Shonda Reynolds' door, that's a red flag you can't ignore. But here's the thing. No one had seen her for days. She lived alone, and the neighbors hadn't heard anything unusual. It wasn't until the welfare check that the truth came to light.
That's the part that really gets to me, the fact that her body had been there for over 2 weeks, wrapped in plastic, tucked inside a closet. And what's even more bizarre is that nothing had been stolen. Her TV, laptop, and jewelry were all untouched. It was as if her killer was trying to hide something else, not steal from her.
Exactly. It makes no sense, right? No sign of forced entry, no struggle. It's almost like whoever did this knew Shonda, or at least had been watching her. Which brings us to that creepy detail, the red shoelace.
That red shoelace. I mean, it was tied in a knot and just left there on the floor. What's the significance? Why leave that? It's one of those things that haunts you because it's a clue, but it doesn't make sense at first.
Right, but as the investigation unfolds, it becomes clear that the answer lies in the person across the hall, Elijah Walker, the man who had been living in apartment 4A. He'd gone missing too, around the same time Shonda did. His rent wasn't paid and his apartment was abandoned, but there were so many clues left behind.
And the photos, dozens of them, taken without Shonda's knowledge. He had been watching her for months. It's so chilling to think that this was all building up behind the scenes while everyone else was just going about their lives, completely unaware.
Yeah, and it gets worse. They tracked him down to Chicago, trying to board a bus to Mexico. In his backpack, they found another red shoelace, a hunting knife, and a journal. The last entry? 4B was too easy. Might try the 5th floor next. That's a directed mission. He was planning to kill again.
It's almost like a twisted confession. I mean, the way he wrote it down so casually, like it was just another thing on his to-do list. And then in court, he shows no emotion. Not until they show Shonda's family photos. That's when he smiles.
That's the part that really got to me. It's as if he had no remorse whatsoever. He didn't care about the life he took, just cold, calculated. And his actions in the end, leaving those shoelaces as a sort of signature, make you wonder how many others were on his radar.
Yeah, Elijah Walker was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life without parole. But even though the case was closed, the haunting doesn't stop. Apartment 4B remains unoccupied to this day. And some say, every summer, the hallway still smells strange.
It's a chilling reminder of what happened there. A place forever marked by the tragedy and a smell that never seems to go away. I guess it just goes to show how sometimes the most ordinary things, like a bad smell, can be the beginning of something much darker.
And it makes you think, doesn't it? About how we sometimes ignore the signs or how close we are to the danger lurking just behind closed doors. Something as simple as a smell. But we never really know what's happening behind those walls.
Definitely. It's a story that'll stick with you and one that leaves a lot of questions unanswered. Like how many people are out there who we don't know about, quietly watching, waiting until it's too late.
It's a chilling thought, but it's also a reminder to always trust our instincts, no matter how small the warning signs seem.
Well said. All right, that's it for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Keep your eyes open out there.
Stay safe, everyone, and don't ignore the red flags no matter how small they seem.